Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter. What I'm going to say today to get my ass in trouble? Well, let's cover my ass. The thought, views, and opinions shared at the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy hump day. Wednesday for everybody out there. A little early today. I got a little something I got to do at 10. I didn't want to be cutting it close today. So and I've been going a little longer. So I was like, let me give me some time to get this in on time to my listeners. So I'm here, happy to be here on the early side. Let's get started. Hope everybody enjoying their weekend and enjoying themselves. We got a great show for you today. Got a few updates, some good updates. Well, I won't say good or bad, but updates on stories that we have been covering. Got an update on Tony Busby's situation. Got an update on Diddy, Kanye's situation. Got an update on Sadishka. And what else do we have an update on? Basically, that's it, though. We're going to focus on those. And, of course, we got a Diddy update. Diddy is the judge has made an update on Diddy's and those witnesses. So we're going to talk about that. And I got hit with, about to get into this Diddy mess, but I got hit with another Walmart. Was it Walmart? Yeah, Walmart. Did a replacement on me. And I'm going to say veggie chips don't mix with sour cream and onion. Like, don't make veggie sour cream and onion chips. They not made. So just warning anybody out there, if you get those little veggie chips that kind of look like Pringles, we usually get the plain ones. And Walmart did some type of replacement and gave us some sour cream and onion. Them things is non-stop nasty. They're aggressive as hell. As soon as you bite into them, they like, yeah, nigga, these are sour cream and onion. Like, and I like sour cream and onion. You know, in the hood, we love sour cream and onion, but you know, we need, you know, the fattening chips and the hot with hot fries and all that type of those chips. That's when I do the sour cream and onion. But when I'm trying to be fake healthy and I get my plain veggie chips, Walmart, you fuckers, send me the regular chips. Don't send me some sour cream and onion. Say that for Lay's and even Pringles, the real thing, I could do it, but not them veggie chips that Walmart got. Come on, y'all, Walmart. Quit just substituting me for substituting anything. Now we got 3 or 4 cans of sour cream and onion veggie chips. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to eat 3 or 4 of them. So I'm pissed off right now about that. But that's just my little quick rant. Walmart, stop with y'all replacement shit. Y'all replacement game is crazy. Matter of fact, Walmart's replacement game is diabolical. But not as diabolical as the man of the hour, the Diddler. So let's get into this. Let's get into the Diddy. You know, I must shout out my subscribers and my shoppers. Don't let me forget. But we got an update. Let's get into it. First of all, let's start with Diddy, Mr. Mohawk Man himself. So what we got is the judge has officially ordered prosecutors to reveal the names of Diddy's alleged victims, but only to his lawyers. But if you're watching the Flow Show, no filter, we're going to do a little speculating. I got an idea who those 3 victims are, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to name them. And if we have more ideas, I might do another show about it tomorrow because I got an idea. I know who who the victims are and some of the witnesses, because you know they're trying to keep names from us. But if you decode the actual indictment, and then you look into some of the lawsuits, and then you just kind of dig through the whole history of the diddler, you could get a kind of a good idea of who the victims are. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna name the victims. We don't give a damn. Like I told you before on the podcast, we're not waiting for the system to tell us who these victims are. We're gonna go ahead and speculate, and we'll know before the world know. Watch what I tell you. So check it out. This is from Baller Alert. Judge orders prosecutors to reveal Diddy's name, victims' names, and it goes like this. Article starts up. TMZ reports that a federal judge has ordered prosecutors to disclose the identities of 3 alleged victims in Sean Diddy Combs' federal sex trafficking and racketeering case. According to the motion filed by Diddy's attorneys on March 6, his defense team requested the names of 3 anonymous accusers and witnesses mentioned in the U.S. Attorney's Office's indictment. And today's show, we're going to name who we think possibly one of those witnesses is, and we're going to name the 3 accusers. Now let's continue. The government's case filed in the Southern District of New York refers to them only as Victim 1, Victim 2, and Victim 3. Diddy's legal team argued that they needed the information as soon as possible to prepare for trial, which is now less than 2 months away. In response, the judge ruled that the prosecutors must provide the names to the attorneys. They were supposed to provide that by March 10th. But under the attorney's eyes only, that's what they're supposed to do. So far, Diddy's legal team has identified one of the victims, which is Cassie Ventura. Given that the indictment referenced the infamous 2016 hotel surveillance video showing Combs assaulting her, his lawyers also believe the other 2 alleged victims are former girlfriends. Despite the court's ruling, a gag order remains in place for the case, which means the victims' identities may not be revealed to the public until the trial, if at all. If the judge decides to close the courtroom during testimony, the accusers could remain anonymous even throughout the proceedings. Y'all know that ain't gonna happen. Y'all know somebody gonna spill those beans early. I don't know what the hell Baller Alert talking about. Let's continue. Diddy has continued to deny all the allegations. I gotta say that to cover my ass. No Diddy. Now, let's talk about these victims and these witnesses that they trying to keep nameless from us, but they don't know. This is the Flow Show, no filter. Ain't nobody going nameless. We're gonna do some digging and we're gonna find out exactly who they talking about. Because it's just like, hey, they didn't want us to know the Cassie. Now I don't know who leaked the video. I don't know, but if we going according to the law, according to whatever was being said in the official filings, the feds didn't release that tape. So let's just assume the feds didn't release the tape. They didn't want to reveal Cassie's name. What happened was the indictment spelled out that there were that one of the victims was beat up in a hotel, and it gave, I think, the year, the time frame, or maybe even the date. And then the Cassie tape got leaked, and everybody put 2 and 2 together. And they said, oh, well, victim 1, this is before the superseding indictment. They said victim 1 has to be Cassie because we saw the hotel beating. We saw it on around that time, that date, or whatever they said. And that's kind of how Cassie even got put out here. And I'm saying that to say that they wrote the indictment nameless for a reason, but the incidents will kind of point out to who they're talking about. So Cassie beans got spilled, and that's how we know it was Cassie. Then here comes this superseding indictment. Now, in the superseding indictment, we also have context clues of who those 2 victims are. and also who some witnesses are because of the actual crimes that are alleged. So let's talk about this indictment so we can break down who possibly are these two other victims and another witness that we may think his name will pop up. So the first one is kind of easy. And we talked about it before, so I'm gonna do the first one that we already talked about. Then we'll get into victim number 3. Then we'll get into the witness. Now, the first one was kind of easy because they said in the indictment, Diddy is being alleged to have dangled somebody over an apartment or hotel balcony. So as we dig through Diddy's past, I come across an article that said Diddy accused of dangling woman from high balcony in new case. This is from December 2024. This was actually a little bit after the arrest. This is from the BBC World News and Stories, written by Samantha Granville. And it says, Sean Diddy Combs has been accused in a new lawsuit of dangling a woman from a 17th floor balcony of an apartment during an altercation. The lawsuit filed in Los Angeles by fashion designer Brianna Bongolan alleges the incident happened in 2016 while she was at the home of Mr. Combs. My then girlfriend Cassie Ventura was there. So unless Diddy been hanging women over balconies all across the country all these years, and it's a lot of them out there, then unless that's the case, then this is the one they talking about. This is the fashion designer. If you know, her and Diddy kind of messed with each other, and she was kind of caught in that love triangle with Cassie and her and victim number 3 that I'm gonna name in a second. Now, of course, Diddy denies it, but what Miss Boglin says, let's get into what happened. Miss Boglin says she was spending the night with Cassie at the apartment when Mr. Combs started shouting and banging on the front door. After coming inside, Mr. Combs allegedly confronted Brianna, the fashion designer, who was on the balcony at the time. The lawsuit states he allegedly grabbed and molested her. He then lifted her up and started dangling her from the balcony of the unit, the lawsuit alleges. At the time of the incident, Brianna weighed about 100 pounds, very little, small young lady. In the lawsuit, it claims that Brianna attempted to resist him, throwing her weight back in a desperate struggle to avoid being thrown to the ground and likely to her death. Heavy stuff, right? Let's continue. The lawsuit states that Ms. Ventura came outside to intervene, and Mr. Combs allegedly pulled Ms. Brianna back over the ledge by slamming her onto the patio furniture. Brianna claims she did not and still does not know what provoked the alleged incident. According to the suit, she is seeking $10 million in damages. I don't know if she's gonna get that much, but who knows? And also in the lawsuit, Brianna says it was a culmination of series of threats, intimidation, and violence that covered many of her interactions with Mr. Mohawk Combs. The allegations echo an incident noted in a separate lawsuit with Cassie. And we all know about the Cassie lawsuit and what happened. I don't have to go on that, but Ms. Brianna alleges she endured terror and abuse from Combs throughout their professional relationship, which began when the music mogul approached her about collabing with the fashion line. So Brianna, she got a lot to say. And if she is victim number 2, Diddy gonna be cooked. Because not only does she have several incidents that line up to what happened allegedly to Cassie, not only that, but they also have incidences where they both were there as they can be witnesses to each other's getting victimized. And so when it comes to naming these names, it's a reason why the defense was so thirsty to get those names. I think the defense, well, when they saw dangled over a balcony, they pretty much knew who that was. But I think this third victim, I think Diddy and his legal team didn't know for sure who this third victim was. And that is why they were so thirsty to know who it was so they could prepare a defense. Because the possible third victim that I have right here in my phone, she had allegations, but as far as I could check, I couldn't find any lawsuits. But she had the same stories, the same exact stories as Cassie, and similar stories to Brianna. Tell me if you remember this person.
He had caught me texting another man. We was in Miami. It got really crazy that time. We was upstairs and he had like, we were in his closet and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground and then he like stood over me. So I was like laying on my back and he stood over me and he started like punching me like this. Like he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head and I was just like covering my face. And then after he got done doing that, he like stomped on my stomach like really hard and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe. And he kept hitting me and I was like pleading to him, like, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head. Cause he was just avoiding my face when he was like hitting me.
So for those that don't know or didn't recognize that voice, that was another one of Diddy's exes, Gina Hun. I forget how to pronounce her name. I'm gonna just call her Gina, but it's last name Huynh. And in that story, that's Gina telling a story about the time that the diddler stomped her in her stomach. Rumors were that it actually caused her a miscarriage, and he did that multiple times. Now, the reason I tend to think that she's a strong possibility of being victim number 3 is because she's also another one considered to be an ex of Diddy. And it seems like they put Cassie there, and I'm pretty sure that the one dangling over the balcony could be one. And it seems like they're the only accusers that they're actually putting in position or actually getting behind are accusers that had relationships with Diddy, like long term. If you read the indictment. And so she had one, and in the federal indictment, she had a long relationship with Diddy, off and on. She was talking to Diddy during the Cassie stuff, all kind of stuff. So Gina, the federal indictment against Combs details a pattern of abuse, including physical assaults, where he allegedly struck, punched, dragged, and kicked women. So punch is an indictment. It women with the E, meaning plural. So not just Cassie. And we didn't literally see him punch Cassie. So I don't know, but we know he struck her. We know he dragged her. We know he kicked them. But he said kicked women, plural. So if you're not just talking about Cassie, who's another woman that is alleging that Diddy punched, kicked, and did all that over a long period of time? And they said these injuries often resulted in healing times of days, even weeks. So given the similarities between Gina's allegations and the behaviors described in the indictment, one could speculate that she could be among the victims referenced in this superseding indictment that is about to be named. And now this is just me guessing, but did he know that Gina had a lot of secrets? Because Gina is one of the few that didn't come out with lawsuits, but she told what happened. And she actually was involved with Diddy for a long period of time, even up to the part where they say Young Miami disrespected or said something about to Gina about if Diddy wanted you to be doing whatever to me, you be doing. And I ain't gonna say it quite how she said it, but so that would lead me to believe that's why they were so thirsty to get those names, because they wanted to know if Gina was one of them. I'm thinking, it's me guessing. They wanted to know, was Gina in that mix of the three alleged? I'm telling you, they pretty much knew who the dangled over the balcony was. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, unless Diddy been dangling women over the balcony left and right, they pretty much probably knew who that was from the indictment. And of course, they knew Cassie. So they wanted to know who that third one was, and they probably was suspicious that it might be Gina because of the situation. I mean, she done had a alleged miscarriage, different stories. She was around back and forth in between the love triangles of Cassie and whoever else Diddy was talking to. So in my mind, keep an eye on Gina. She might have came clean. She might have came to the feds and say, hey, I got a story to tell. And that might have started the superseding indictment, because if I'm reading the tea leaves, seems like the feds are only going to get behind relationship. Like if you had a relationship, I don't think they're going to just take a random person and take a random person's allegation and just put them in this indictment. I think, especially when you look at how they ran with Cassie, I think they are saying that, if we want to get a conviction, we need victims that have a relationship in some form or fashion with the defendant, instead of just like somebody that might say they had a random hookup. I don't think they want to even try to get a conviction on that. I think they want to go with the short bets. So that's why I say those three, Cassie, Brianna, and Gina, those are my top three. I'm going to do some digging and some more. But now let's go to one of these unnamed witnesses. Allegedly, this is just me speculating, but I normally be right on the money. So let's go to the next witness, who I think is a witness. They're not naming her, but I believe she's a witness. And that's KK. And if you know what KK is what is her name? Christina Coram. Now, she says that there's no way that she did none of the stuff that they're saying. Y'all know she's been basically Diddy's chief of staff for I don't know how long. And she was the one that they claim set up the freak offs, carried out everything that Diddy needed her to do, as far as setting up the Wild King nights and getting them the drugs that he needed and all type of stuff. So she has an article that's in Rolling Stone, and she's coming out swinging. which is another reason why I think she a witness. And they're not naming her, but we naming people allegedly on the Flow Show No Filter because we digging through the indictments. That's all I was doing yesterday, was digging through the indictment and digging through the internet and seeing what the hell makes sense. So check out this Rolling Stone and listen to this one clear, because Rolling Stone is high as hell. They charge. I pay like, I don't know, like $10 a month for this Rolling Stone magazine. So I'm glad when they have an article I can use every now and then. But if you ain't want to pay $10 for Rolling Stone, don't worry, I got you covered because I got it. So this Rolling Stone, it says Sean Combs' chief of staff breaks silence, calls accusations against her disturbing and unthinkable. Quote, I never condoned or aided and abetted the sexual assault of anyone, Christina Combs said in a statement to Rolling Stone. If that don't sound like somebody who ready to tell, I don't know what is. If y'all notice, Christina was running everything. It's literally impossible for her to not know what Diddy was doing, to not aid in it. You the assistant, you gotta assist. And when that means, that don't just mean setting up bookings. You know, when you're doing it for somebody like Diddy, that don't mean just setting up meet and greets. See, because when you Diddy's assistant or chief of staff, you setting up meet and freaks. Yeah, you ain't setting up meet and greets all the time. You setting up meet and freaks. And that's part of your job description, or he gonna get somebody else that look just like you to do it. What you gonna do? I've seen it all the time. Assistants to these mega stars and people with big money, they get in a position where they're going to ask, if they're involved in some bullshit, they're going to ask you to do something for them. And it ain't an assistant that's going to say no, especially at first. But now that Christina talking to the Rolling Stone and throwing Diddy under the bus, which I don't blame her, that lets me know right there, if she ain't a witness, who the hell is? Because not only is she throwing Diddy under the bus and saying she didn't know nothing about nothing, but she also doing it right now at the perfect timing where you think the feds ain't gonna want to talk to her or haven't already talked to her. Does she sound like somebody who gonna ride or die for Diddy? Hell no. So Christina, aka KK, although they haven't named her as a witness on the Flow Show No Filter, I'm gonna name her. I think she's gonna be a witness. I would be surprised if you got a RICO, you got racketeering, you got all of this. Ain't no way in hell the chief of staff ain't gonna be called. So far we named, only one that we knew for sure already is Cassie, but we already named Brianna could be a possible victim because she was dangled off the balcony. And then this is another thing. If it's not Brianna and Diddy hung somebody else over the balcony, his ass really grass. So it's a lose-lose. Either if it's Brianna, it's bad. But shit, if it's another one, it's even worse. Because now you got a Brianna saying, look, he did the same thing to me. So I don't know. And then Gina, she is the only one that has horrific stories like that. She didn't even put in a lawsuit. Unless it's sealed and nobody knows about it. But I see nothing on the internet about her having a lawsuit. And that looks actually kind of good for her, especially if you don't know what type of evidence she has to go along with her stuff, hospital visits. I'm sure if she was kicked and punched and allegedly had a miscarriage and all of that, I'm sure that's well documented. So if that third person is Gina, that could spell trouble. Because I'm pretty sure if he caused miscarriages, punched her in the stomach, punched her and did this and that, and this was ongoing, I'm pretty sure she has some evidence. And I'm gonna tell you something that nobody kind of knew, or anybody know, but I was giving this information, but it's way past the time now. I was talking to some people in the know a while ago about the Cassie situation and how it got resolved so fast was this, and this is inside information. That's why I'm not going to tell no names or anything. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I got to tell y'all this. Y'all be subscribing, so I'm telling. Look, my subscribers getting the info, and my listeners. So you just be mad at me on this one. But anyway, what happened with Cassie was, y'all know how when it initially was filed, and at first Diddy was like, this is BS. No, he didn't say BS, but he said this is a money grab and blah, blah, blah. Remember, he was like standing on 10 the second Cassie filed, right? Well, somebody in the know told me, he was like, you want to know what happened? Why Sean Combs went from standing on 10 toes to basically 5 minutes later sending over $30 million and all of that? Cassie had some evidence that she saved from like 10 years ago or something that Diddy never knew about. And whatever that evidence was, whether it was DNA, because I can't say what it was, so I'm gonna just give you some, whether it was DNA, whether it was video footage, whether it was a napkin with some bloody DNA on it that she saved from a wild night. She saved some evidence that Diddy didn't know she had. And the evidence was from like 10 years before. Like it was some back in the day evidence. And when the lawyer let Diddy's attorney know what evidence that Cassie had, that's when Diddy changed from standing 10 toes talking about it was a money grab to trying to force that money down her throat and trying to get rid of it and paying whatever he had to pay. And so it could possibly be the same way with Gina. You never know what type of evidence people hold on to. Gina might have some evidence from the miscarriage or from getting punched and kicked in her stomach or getting abused. Who knows? And see, it's what a celebrity or person with money can fight all day long. Words and he say, she say. But if you could produce them receipts, oh, it's ball game. Which is why we've been on this show saying that Diddy is cooked. Crock potted. Twice baked. Panini grilled. The Benihana man is spinning the egg. They doing Diddy like Benihanas and wasabi. They spinning the egg and cracking it and throwing water and squirting squirting shrimp sauce in your mouth. No Diddy. Because his ass getting cooked every which way you can. Even flame broiled. Burger King in this bitch. And so as we name these names, we will wait to see. You know one thing about it. It's going to get leaked. I don't care what this ball alert thing talking about. We might not never know, or if we don't get access. Well, hold on. I'm going to be in the courtroom. So, yeah, we're going to definitely know. We're going to definitely know because my ass in the courtroom, especially on certain days that I know is going down. So we're going to know on this show. So make sure you subscribe, by the way. I don't know what ball alert talking about, but that's going to get leaked. We're going to know the names. And until then, we're going to keep speculating. And I'm going to keep watching it because eventually it will get leaked. Enough of Diddy. Let me go to something else real quick. I don't even want to spend a lot of time on this particular segment. But remember I told y'all I was out on Kanye? And y'all know Flo got that grandma intuition. came from my granny, the inventor of And I Don't Like It. When granny called out something, you better believe something gonna follow up and co-sign what she's saying. And Kanye just went too fucking far last night on Twitter or whatever, X. And it's just fitting that he did this right after I said I was out on him. Because I'm a Kanye, I'm a Kanye fan. A lot of us are Kanye fans. I'm more sad to see the crash out. Not happy to see this crash out. But he went too far last night. What did he do? I don't care what you feel about Jay-Z. I don't care what you feel about Beyonce. I don't care what you feel about what they may or may have not done in the industry to people or whatever. A lot of speculation going around. I ain't even here for that this morning. But Kanye West says something that I don't Has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They are retarded. No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having retarded children is a choice. Kanye motherfucking West. I don't care what nobody say about no grown, what your opinions is. I don't play talking about no fucking kids from nobody. That's the quickest way to piss me the fuck off. And I knew when I said I was out. It took me a while. Y'all know, y'all ain't never heard me say I was out on Kanye. I would just speak on what he was doing, whether I liked it or didn't like it, and speak on it. It was just yesterday morning on the podcast, I finally just told y'all, look, y'all, I'm out on Kanye. He done went overboard. I can't honor that. I can't respect what he doing. And just to co-sign me and let me know I was saying the right shit, like always, he goes and says this. Now, I don't give a damn about what anybody feel about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Kids is off limits. Kids is off limits. That's why I don't want no corporate dollars. That's why I only want corporate dollars if they're going to be in line with what we doing on this show. This is why I want subscribers, and y'all think I be just saying this shit. No, this is why I want subscribers. I don't want to be as big as Jay-Z and be tied to all these corporations. Because the first celebrity or person that I know personally that comes out and say some shit like that about my son, I'm finding them and kicking their ass. I don't care about no sponsors. I'm finding you at some point. I ain't got to make no special trip. I will wait until I run into you till you think it's over with, and you're going to see in the news clippings, Flo kick somebody's ass. So y'all just be prepared to buy up a lot of merchandise or get a lot of subscribers or do whatever y'all got to do to bail me out, because I don't play that shit. I get just as mad, almost as mad when somebody talk about somebody else's kid with issues or problems. I get as if that's my kid. Now, when we ask, I wonder, is Sir okay and this and that, it's out of love. I don't want to be on here talking about nobody's kid I don't do that shit. I don't believe in that. Never did it. Never will. And I don't care who you is. You can't get away with that on here on this show. So when I read that I was angered. I was angered and I was sad. So I said, who the fuck? How you don't know no better, man, than talking about, you talking about somebody's kids retarded? You talking about somebody's kids retarded. That you ain't got nothing else better to do or say. No, your time is so useless right now that you done found time to talk about some innocent kids and put some bullshit papers out about them. It was kind of a sad moment for me to say I was out on Kanye, because when I'm behind you, thick or thin. Long as you don't do nothing, you ain't assaulting no babies and assaulting women and all this other stuff. I'll give you leeway. I'm with you. So it was a sad moment when I'd say I was out on Kanye. But after that tweet, after him calling somebody's kids retarded for the whole world, I'm super out on Kanye. And like I said, I don't care any industry. Y'all can be mad at me, any celebrity, whatever. But you say something about that kid, and I know who you are. Now, if I don't know you, I don't know you. But if it's like Kanye and Jay-Z, they know each other well. So if I know you well, and you talk about my son or my kid, whatever, like that, and this ain't right. I ain't condoning violence. I don't condone violence. This ain't right. I'm just real. And I'm just telling you honestly, that's cause for an ass whooping. And go ahead and give me my case, or give me my bond. I had a bond money ready, because I'm not going for that shit. That's foul as hell, man. And Kanye need to get some help. And I don't like it at all. If you know me, you've been following me for a while, you know I don't play about no fucking kids. I don't play about no kids at all. Like, that's the thing. That was the original reason that even got me doing what I'm doing, is standing up and being a voice for children. And so I can't even really put into words what that made me feel like, but I felt better that I publicly announced that I was out on Kanye before he even said that shit. Now, that might not mean nothing to y'all, but that meant something to me. I'm like, well, see, I called it before he even said that, because I was already out on him once he said that. But yeah, y'all, Kanye West is just looking for attention, and it's sad. He calling people a pussy and this and that, when he really is the one acting like all of that. He wouldn't say none of this in nobody's face. He wouldn't say that in Jay-Z's face. He wouldn't say none of this stuff he's saying in nobody's face. So like I said yesterday, and I ain't going to be on this bitch talking about Kanye every day either. This probably going to be it for a minute, because I really didn't want to give him no more airplay, because he's just looking for attention. And when you're looking for attention, I don't like giving it to you. So hopefully I won't have to bring up nothing about Kanye no more. Hopefully he just calm down or get him some meds. I don't know what his problem is, but he went way too far. And again, I'm out on Kanye. I'm out on anybody that's calling somebody's kids retarded or Down syndrome. Then he even said, after people got mad, then he came back talking about if they take my, hey, I had to put that up, but if they take my Twitter down, it'll be down like Down syndrome. And a lot of people were saying that, Sir possibly had Down syndrome or whatever. And so it's just all, like I said, I ain't defending Jay-Z and Beyonce. It ain't about them. This is strictly me defending the kids. And like I said, kids are off limits, especially mine, especially this community. Any kids a part of the Flow Show No Filter community, my kid, whatever, are off limits. And if you want to see Flow crash out, there you go. Play with my kids. Play with my son. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's getting hot in here talking about Kanye, and I don't know what the hell Kanye doing. So let's move on from Kanye. He been on a Twitter rant for the last few days. He want to beef with Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar ain't paying him no attention. Everybody's kind of just using him to pass time and look at what he's doing. But it's gotten to the point where I think he's literally destroying his brand. And I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this. So we'll be continuing to pay attention. But let's get off Kanye and I'm going to end on this note. We want the old Kanye. We either want the old Kanye or no Kanye today. But we got an update on your boy Tony Busby. We got to get into Tony Busby. So we're going to get into that Tony Busby update, and I'm going to tell you what the judge motioned and how I feel that Tony Busby is going to move forward, because he might have something up his sleeve for Jay-Z. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But let me shout out to the people and give flowers to the people that make this available, make this show, keep the lights on, keep truth alive, all while they keeping their head on a swivel while they listening to me talk and rant. Without these people, we don't have a show, because this is a show that's just going to bring truth. Corporations, big time celebrities, they don't like the truth. So they either going to pay me to not tell the truth, or they not going to pay me, and I'm not going to be able to tell the truth unless the subscribers subscribe, unless the shoppers shop. We are a people's podcast, self-sufficient, for us, by us type of podcast. And I love that idea, because it gives us the freedom to talk about whatever we want. If y'all have a cause that y'all want to push for, put it in the fan mail, send me a message. I'll announce it, as long as it ain't no crazy shit. So let me announce the subscribers. And if you subscribe, it's in the description. Supporting the podcast, you will get a shout out. Also, if you shop at my merch store, my Shopify, the website is andidon'tlikeit.com. Just how we spell it out when we say it. But so let's get to it. So we got Brenda. Let me shout out Brenda as the subscriber of the day. She did a $8 donation. We only asked for 3, but Brenda gave more. So let's shout out Brenda. Say thanks to Brenda in the chat. Brenda, we love you here at the Flow Show No Filter. We also got some shoppers. We got one shopper today, but we got 2 shoppers to shout out. So as I pull it up in my trusty phone, I got too many windows open. Y'all know how it be. So I'm getting there. So we got 2 shoppers. And the 2 shoppers are, drum roll, please. Laura, shout out Laura Clifford. She spent about $50 in And I Don't Like It. And what did she get? What did she get? I don't want to tell all her business, but she got one of the hottest items for sure on her in her cart. She bought the And I Don't Like It white t-shirt. That's been a favorite. Everybody liked the And I Don't Like It collection. We doing more with it. So shout out to Laura, but the shopper of the day spent a whopping $70 towards the movement, and I like it. Everybody shout out Shauna Johnson. Come on down. Shauna Johnson, come on down and get your prize. This is The Price is Right. No filter. But in all seriousness, everybody who's willing to spend their hard-earned money with the Flow Show No Filter, we greatly appreciate it. We're gonna continue to bring the straight truth. We don't give a shit what nobody say. Why? Because we take care of our own ass on this podcast. We're not worried about nobody telling us what to talk about. So appreciate Shauna and Laura. Clap it up. Another announcement before we get to the Tony Busby mess. Another claps for Shauna. Give it up. Go Shauna. Go Shauna. Go Shauna. So we're gonna get into the Tony Busby thing, but see, we gotta wait, y'all, because this is how I be forgetting. I be so wanting to get back to the news and get to the juicy part. But oh no, Diddy. But an announcement that I can't forget. We got the tour. We almost at the final stage of locking in our tour date of Detroit. So far, we got Detroit, Cleveland, possibly Charlotte, and what other? Another city. But what I need y'all to do, the tour starts late June, early July. And I need y'all to tell me what city y'all want me to come to. The reason I'm going to Detroit, because all my Detroit people sent me messages saying you need to come to Detroit. And so, like, just like naming this show and everything we do, I let y'all lead. Y'all the ones that told me y'all want me to go on tour. Y'all ready for the podcast to come on tour. And the first city that made some noise was Detroit. So that's where I'm going. So anybody out there, even overseas, London, Australia, I see fans everywhere. Send me some messages to give me an idea where I need to come to. I think, Philly. I got a lot of messages from people in Philly. So Philly will be on there too. But send me messages. The Flow Show No Filter tour starts this summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a live show in front of y'all. We're going to do some karaoke. We're going to have some fun. Flow Show No Filter live show going to be like no other podcast. Y'all know they can't compete with us. So we're going to continue to let them know. While y'all sitting there being all boring on y'all little podcast tour, the Flow Show No Filter going to show you how to fucking party when you go on a tour. When you go to one of my events, you're going to have fun. Even if you don't know who the hell I am. If one of your friends bring you, you're going to be like, I like that guy. Because we're going to have some fun. So please send me messages from all the cities that y'all want me to come to, because I'm only coming off messages. I'm not going to dictate where I'm going. I'm going to let y'all dictate where I'm going. So far, Detroit, Charlotte, Philly, Cleveland, Atlanta, those 5 are already locked in. But if you're from those cities, go ahead and send me a message anyway. Let me know I made the right choice. So anyway, one more announcement. We about to get to Tony Busby. Told y'all today, I ain't forgetting. I ain't letting y'all off the hook today. Also, we will be hitting 100K downloads Thursday or Friday. We won't celebrate. That's a huge accomplishment. I told y'all only 5% of all podcasts even make it to 100,000 downloads, even to this day. So we are in the top 5% of all podcasts of all time right now. And we got there because, for one, y'all told me to do it. And then when y'all told me to do it, I came in here and killed it. And we a good team. So to celebrate, we're going to have a little party on the podcast, whichever day. It'll probably be Friday, since even if we break it Thursday, we'll party Friday. And I'll be dropping my first headband, the 100K headband, and I don't like it. It's already designed. It will be dropping. We probably drop it Friday. It's going to be a commemorative limited edition. Y'all know y'all been waiting for the headband, but y'all know I move slow because I move correct. I like stuff to be right. I don't want to I didn't want to rush and drop a headband and I ain't really like it because I'm known for the headbands. I got a million of them, but I like these 2 are my lucky ones. So the headband and wine glasses will be dropping this Friday. The Flow Show No Filter wine glasses and the And I Don't Like It headband will be out this Friday to celebrate us hitting 100K on something that I had no clue would ever happen. I never knew I would even be doing a podcast. And when I look at independent podcasts and how low the numbers are, it really makes me like really appreciate y'all and appreciate what we got. Because I see people who have independent podcasts that are happy to get 100 downloads in a week on an episode. Like, that's not even bad. Like, that's, if you have a podcast independent and you get 100 or 200 downloads on an episode in a week, that's, you're not doing bad. Don't be frustrated, because I see a lot of people that's like what the numbers are. So for us to just pick up a microphone, I literally bought this equipment and learned how to do it that night. The first day my equipment came, I learned how to do it in an hour or 2. And the next day I brought you the first podcast. And to go from that to we about to hit 100,000 in 4 months, independent, clap it up for us. So look out for the headbands. Look out for the wine glasses this Friday. We're going to be celebrating. And thank y'all again for having my back and pushing this podcast, this little independent podcast that could. It's kicking ass, and I love it. It's like the movie 300. We independent, but we mighty, and I like it. I love it like that. Oh, and then I got the and I don't like it. I love it. Shirts coming soon too, so look out for those. And I don't like it. I love it. Coming soon. Anyway, got all the announcements out the way. For once, I ain't forgot nothing. So y'all just had to, sometimes I just got to stop and get them all out the way. That way I don't forget. So now we're going to get to Tony Busby. It's looking a little better for Tony Busby, y'all. Looking a little better for Tony Busby. So remember I talked about the judge had gave strict orders to Tony Busby to explain why he didn't tell his client that he wasn't licensed in New York, and he didn't explain it. He really just put in a motion to withdraw. And remember I told you that the judge might not accept it. Well, Tony Busby also explained, his explanation was he said something to the effect of it was a misjudgment or something or whatever that led to him doing that. Long story short, the judge has accepted it, which is good news for Tony Busby. So the judge allowed him to withdraw from the case with Diddy, with the lawsuits with Diddy and Jay-Z. But the funny thing is, okay, they have co-counsel, which means, like I explained to y'all yesterday, if you're a lawyer and you want to take a lawsuit in another state, normally what they do is they find somebody who is licensed in that state and they collab and partner up on that case. I've seen them do it all the time, especially in the like amplified cases where they're helping out people and helping out victims. A lot of times they'll partner up with somebody in another state so they can do it. So that's normal. So, but the funny thing is, it's still a lawsuit. Something Jay-Z still got something going on, because it said for the Diddy and Jay-Z lawsuits that are ongoing. But as far as we know, that one got dismissed. So that leads me to think, are they talking about the other lawsuit that involved a male that is suing Jay-Z? Because other than that, I wouldn't know what lawsuit that Tony Busby is withdrawing from that involves Jay-Z. So Tony Busby may have a trick up his sleeve. Because if y'all remember, back when Jay-Z and Tony Busby and the attorneys all was arguing and going off on each other, if y'all remember, there was another lawsuit mentioned that we all didn't know about. We all knew about the 13-year-old with Jay-Z, but we didn't know about there was a male victim. That came out kind of when they was slinging mud. That came out and we were like, wait, hold on. So it's a male victim that's suing Jay-Z too? So I don't know. I'm just like y'all. We got to sit back and see how it plays out. But Busby may or may not have a trick up his sleeve. So now, since the judge has let Tony Busby withdraw from this particular case involving Jay-Z and possibly Diddy, I'm not sure how they connected, because they just use both their names. I don't know if they're saying they're on the same case or they're talking about different cases. But anyway, as far as Jay-Z and Diddy, Busby might have something for Jay-Z. We're going to have to sit back and see. But now it appears that if this judge let Busby withdraw from this one, they probably will let Busby withdraw from all of the Diddy cases. And like I said, Tony Busby already has co-counsel in place that is licensed. And so like I told you, the lawyers do this all the time. I've seen them do it where they just partner with somebody who's in that state. So it looks like, as far as Tony Busby, looked like there's some good news for him. He was able to withdraw, which means those cases can go forward. And don't be surprised if another bombshell lawsuit comes out against Jay-Z. It might be that male person. Who knows? But we will be sitting back and waiting and seeing how this plays out, because I'm telling y'all, like I told y'all in the beginning, this is a heavyweight fight between Tony Busby and Jay-Z, and it don't seem like neither one is letting up. Tony Busby is coming back firing. He full steam ahead. So we will see. We will see who comes out on top, Jay-Z or Tony Busby, because they are going at it. And like I said, I'm starting to feel like Tony Busby might have a ace in the hole, but we'll see. So that's the update. So Tony Busby, just to bring it up and confirm, Tony Busby's motion to withdraw was accepted by the judge. Remember, I told you the judge didn't have to accept that. And so they did. So that's good news for Tony Busby. And also, we got to see what this other lawsuit that may pop out for Jay-Z. So we will continue to follow Tony Busby and this Jay-Z situation with the diddler lurking. And we'll see how it turns out. So before we go, though, we got to update Sadishka. We gotta update Shadishka's parents. Now we got some confusion going on about Joshua's passport. Now, if you remember yesterday, they had a hearing to say if Joshua is able to leave the island, because they took his passport. They were saying that he's a person of interest, but then they wouldn't let him go anywhere. So it's like, okay, if he's a person of interest, and you're saying he's not guilty of anything, then why? Let me recap. This is what we got going on.
Republic, a St. Cloud State student, is still a key witness in the search for 20-year-old Sadiqa Kanaki, who vanished while on spring break.
The St. Cloud State student is believed to be the last person with her 10 days ago. Fox 9's So-Young Kim joining us in our newsroom now. And So-Young, his parents are speaking out through their attorney at this point.
Kelsey, Randy, his family says he's being detained in the Dominican Republic despite his willingness to cooperate. This surveillance video shows what authorities say our 20-year-old University of Pittsburgh student Sadiqa Kanaki and 22-year-old St. Cloud State University student Joshua Reeby in Punta Cana. They can be seen together on camera not too long before she vanished in the early hours on March 6th. Dominican Republic police say Reeby is considered a witness as the search for Kanaki continues, and say this is a missing person investigation, not a criminal case at this time. Now, his parents are speaking out through an attorney saying, quote, despite his full willingness to cooperate, Josh has been detained under irregular conditions and subjected to extensive questioning without the presence of official translators or legal counsel until Wednesday, March 12th. They also say he has remained in his hotel room under police surveillance. According to a police interview transcript obtained by Fox News, Reeby says they met that night, then made their way to the beach. The two were talking in the water when a big wave hit. He struggled to help her ashore. Then at some point, he threw up and passed out. Several hours later, he returned alone to his hotel room. His family also asked everyone to pray that Sadiqa be found and returned home to her family.
So that was just to give you a little context of what we're talking about. We're talking about Sadiqa, the young lady, the college student, 20-year-old, went out partying in Punta Cana with her friends, met a couple guys. She left behind with one guy named Joshua, and we never saw her again, but we see Joshua. So that's the issue right now. But the parents spoke, and when the parents spoke, it was pretty sad. Just check it out, a little bit of what they said. But before I let you hear what they said, so basically the parents have said that they want to declare her, they want the DR to declare her dead. They want it to be over with. They want to get past it. And people were speculating and people were confused. Like, why would they want the investigation over so soon? If I was a parent, if I was my child, I would never stop, blah, blah, blah. You know, everybody was saying all kind of stuff. And I agree with a lot of people. But what I'm finding out is there are a few reasons that people tend to think this is that they are so quick to say, just say she's dead or whatever. One being the biggest reason is cultural differences, they said. They say one reason they want to get it, you know, close the door on this situation is in their culture, they say that the soul can't rest or the soul can't have peace until it has closure. So they want to get to that part fast, you know, quickly. So they want closure. Also, there was a lot of people from that culture saying that I don't know, this is what people saying, so don't take these as my words, but they were saying that the family felt embarrassed by the situation, and now it kind of makes sense, because if you remember yesterday, I said not only did the parents want her to be declared dead, but they also said that they wanted the footage. They were very adamant that they wanted that footage taken down. They didn't want that footage of her walking with dude and hugging and doing all that. They wanted that taken down. And now, and the fact that they really made that, because when I read that, I thought, I was like, well, I know you don't want the footage, but if you say I want to declare dead, just in case she's still alive, why would you want the footage to come down? I was thinking that to myself. But I don't really never try to talk for parents in that situation. You don't know how you would act or what you would want. But now, if what everybody's saying about the embarrassment and shame and all of that, that they feel as being Indian people from India, now that kind of makes a little sense, because that's why they were adamant about taking that, wanting that footage taken down of her, you know, drinking, throwing up, walking with dude arm in arm. They feeling, I guess, speculation is that there's in their culture that's basically shaming the culture. I don't know, but that's where we at. And so check this out. This is a little bit what they said.
Authorities have shown us how high the ocean waves were at the time of incident, and both sides of the authorities also clarified that the person of interest is not suspect from the killing. The king just with deep sadness and history. We heard that we are coming to the terms with the stars that our daughter at home. It's an incredible day. Difficult for us to process. We kindly ask you to keep our daughter in your prayers.
I know that's hard, very hard to understand. It's probably real low, but you can hear crying. I don't care how low it is. You know, crying when you hear it. It's sad. The mother couldn't even get through the little press conference or whatever they did. She was crying. It's just a sad situation. But if you remember yesterday, I said, yeah, for sure. Exactly. She's just a child. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't, it's sad, man. But so if you remember yesterday, I said that they had a hearing yesterday to see about giving Joshua his freedom to leave, giving his passport. And remember, I told y'all this ruling would tell me a lot about what DR feels at this point, what happened. And it's strange because they ruled that he, in a sense, is free to leave the island, right? But he still hasn't had his passport. Now, there's some confusion whether they saying he lost his passport, the DR lost his passport, or if they just acting like they lost their passport to buy themselves some time, because now there's another hearing on the 20. Did they say? I think it's the 28th. Yeah, they got. I think it's another rule on 28th that's going to be about his passport. So I'm wondering, are they just buying themselves some time? Are they just buying time? Do they have his passport and just saying they don't? Because I know this one thing. Unless they come up with a miracle, he won't be able to leave until no earlier than the 28th when they either give him his passport or I don't know what they're going to do, but it tells me that they just need to buy some time because they think something happened. That's just me guessing. Because if they, like we always say, innocent until proven guilty, unless your ass change your story 3 or 4 times, then all that shit go out the window. That's the Flow Show No Filter motto. Innocent until proven guilty, unless your ass change your story 3 or 4 times, then we on your ass and all that go out the window. And that's where we at with Joshua. Joshua, I hope you didn't do nothing. I'm not wishing that you did anything. I hope you didn't do anything. But when you change your story and telling 3, 4 different stories and none of the stories make sense, this what you get. And that whole passport gate that's going on leads me to believe, because DR know more, and the FBI and all of them know more than we know. We only know the clues and the evidence that they have told us, but it's a lot more they know that we don't know. And based on their actions, to give somebody their freedom but not give them their passport back, which they need their passport to get the hell out of there, that tells me they not paying the parents no attention as far as declaring their debt. Maybe they'll do it anyway, but I'm just saying, I really believe, based on how this proceedings went yesterday for Joshua, that they know something, or they think they know something, and they need some time. And normally, when they buy in time, normally that's for something like DNA or some type of stuff that's getting looked into where they just need a certain amount of time. They just need a little bit more time to get, maybe they running some DNA checks on him or something. There's a reason why they trying to buy time. Because if that was it, because to me, I'm not buying nobody lost no damn passport. So I'm just not buying that. So I'm saying to myself, they must figure out a way where, look, we really can't hold them. But if we say the passport lost, that'll buy us some time. And then they made another court date. So they basically got another 9 days or whatever to prove that he did some shit. That's where I think they at with it. You know what we think on this show. We think he did something out there in that water. And that's why his story is different. And that's why he's changing his story. My parents, my family always said people's story change because they lying. People's story have gaps in it because they lying. If Joshua wanted me to believe what he said, he would have had to have a story that accounts from beginning to end and make some sense. That's all. That's not a high bar. I don't care if you're drunk or not, because you're describing a lot of details to be drunk. I mean, and I believe you were drunk before y'all got in that water, but before the chaos, once the chaos came, I believe that sobered you up. As a matter of fact, I know it sobered you up. You're trying to save your life. Your body is going to sober up to save itself. So it's Joshua's story that got my antennas up. I'm not just looking at Josh just because he was the last one and you just assume a guy did it. That's not why I'm looking at him. I saw the story. I wasn't looking at him until he told 3 different stories, and then the last story that he's sticking to just don't make no sense whatsoever. And so, like I told y'all yesterday, I was waiting to see what this hearing said, and that would let me know where DR is at. And with them talking about his passport left, and now what they did was they had him on like a mini hotel house arrest where they had 24/7 surveillance on him. So after this court thing, now he's free to go around, go wherever he wants on the island, come and go as he please. His ass just can't leave the island. He don't have his passport, and I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they'll have an update today. But that was the last update last night, that either DR lost it or he lost. It's so much confusion, but I think this confusion is for a reason. I think they're trying to hold him here, buy them some time as they either get some DNA samples looked into, or they just want more time for the body to turn up. Maybe they want to look in the ocean some more. Maybe they want to look around. Maybe they want to do some digging on the beach or something. But I think they know something that they haven't told us yet. As a matter of fact, they might want him to be free to come and go, because they might still be watching his ass. They might want to see where he goes or what he does. Who knows? But like I told y'all yesterday, after this case and after this hearing yesterday, and they ruled in his favor, but he still can't leave. It reminds me of the person of interest stuff. You know, words don't mean shit. I go by actions. And what I mean by that is, don't tell me I'm a person I'm just a person of interest, basically a witness, but your ass won't let me leave. That means I'm a suspect. I don't care what title you put on it, because now I can't come and go as I please, and I didn't do shit, allegedly. And now they ruled that he is being detained unfairly, or it's not according to the DR rules or laws. But then you don't have his passport, so he still can't leave. So like I said, I strongly believe DR, the FBI, or something, they know something that they haven't told us yet, because this shit ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. Prayers to the family or the parents, but they kind of, I'm not from their culture, so I'm not gonna judge, but they kind of made me sad yesterday, the way it just seemed like they just gave up. She's still a child, like Shauna said, but I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not gonna judge them, but I just was sad to see that they feel like they gave up. And somebody said in the comments, which was a good point, which is far-fetched, but they said in my comments, they said, what if she was kidnapped and she's watching this and she's watching her parents just give up on her? I was like, damn. Now that is far-fetched. We don't know if she's alive. 9 times out of 10, with all this time went past, she's probably not, but who knows? I'm not gonna wish. I'm hoping for the best for her and her family. But what if she was alive and was watching and was able to see that your parents just kind of gave up kind of fast like that? So it's just so much to this story. And 99.999% of it is sad. It's just sad. So we're going to continue to pay close attention, but just to wrap it up and give you a wrap up of Sadisha Kanaki on what's going on. At this point, they have given Joshua the freedom to be free and move how he wants to move around the island, but they haven't something going on with his passport that nobody can really explain, but he don't have it, so he can't leave. And so that's where we are right now. No new news. They did have some more footage that just showed her in the restaurant throwing up. It's the same footage. So no new news, no new footage, no new theories. But Joshua is free to move around, and I believe they're gonna be watching Joshua ass. They're gonna be trying to see where the hell do Joshua go anywhere shady. Does he go somewhere on the beach? Because at this point, if he did do something, it's gonna be kind of hard for him not to, like they say that the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime and stuff like that. And who knows who he might talk to, where he might go, what he might try to collect. I don't know. But we're gonna be paying close mother freaking attention. And with that, we're gonna leave it there. Tomorrow, y'all, we should have another update, hopefully on Diddy, maybe on Busby, hopefully Sadiq, Luigi, all our usual suspects. A lot of people are telling me, talking about that Angie Stone. Send me some messages. If y'all want me to do some dives and deep dive into what's going on with Angie Stone, send me some messages to my DM or send it to me in the fan mail. If enough people want to hear about it, I will dive into it because it's a mess. That Angie Stone situation. I don't know if people making up stuff, but it seems like it's a lot going on. So, and it don't make sense. And that's what we talk about over here. So I'll leave you with that. Once again, our motto is you innocent until proven guilty, unless you change your fucking story 4 times, and then now we on your ass. As always, I love y'all, but I'm out. Oh, whoa. What it do? What it do? Breakfast crew. What's going on? The news, is the news not crazy as hell right now? Look at Sybil. Sybil say, I'm out. All right, Sybil. You be good, Sybil. Sybil say, I'm out. Give me 1 second. We gotta get Apple and Spotify loaded up. We gotta get Apple and Spotify loaded up. Top of the morning, Kobe. Let's get Apple and Spotify loaded up. What's up, family? Amy, Mini Me. What's up, Aunt Mini Me? Yeah, have a good day, Sybil. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Amy. I think the family don't want to know nothing else. Yeah, good morning, K Marie. K Marie says she been watching. She just can't comment, but she with us. She with us in spirit. I like how y'all, hey, look, hey, get the boys. Hey, y'all listening, y'all dancing to Tupac? Hey, Lauren, are y'all dancing to Tupac like me and my mom used to do when we was getting ready for school? Yep, I saw that, Amy. I saw that Young and May. That was Young LA crying on the blue couch, begging for help. I saw that. Crazy. Look at Diamond made it. Look at Diamond. Let's go, Diamond. Diamond made it. Good to see you. We had a good one today. Thanks, Lauren. What about Kanye's crash out, yo? Oh, yeah, definitely. You're right about this, Michelle. I'm glad you brought up this case because I did mean to look into this one. I actually forgot. I got so overwhelmed with other work. But yeah, I definitely need to look into that. The murders. Do a deep dive into the twin boys in Georgia. So let me put that in my notes, Michelle. Thanks for reminding me on that one. Twins, and that is a crazy case. Yeah, I just put that in my notes. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, man. I'm like, we having our little drought, see Tuck. You know how that go, but they need these losses. This is actually a good thing, man, for us to let them know they got to get back on their stuff. I actually ain't too mad. I'm mad that we lost, but I think we need these. Like, they need some reality checks to let them know you got to get back on your stuff, because we really, if you think about it, we ain't played great. We had a couple good games, but we had a lot of good games, and I mean, we've been coming back and this and that, but we ain't played our real. We ain't played like we've been playing, so we need to wake up. What we got next? Amy. Look at Amy in this. Amy said we up early. Yeah, we gotta let them know we still human. Yeah, Kanye need to be slapped. I didn't hear about this, Mini Me, but Mini Me say Jackie Robinson's getting erased because of DEI. I didn't hear about that. I might have to look into that. Man, if I was Jay-Z, I'd put so many hands on Kanye. I would at least have to slap him or something. I would at least have to slap Kanye. You just got to give me a little baby assault charge. I can't take that. Yeah, I can't honor that. I can't respect it. Nothing. I can't make no excuse for it. I ain't gonna make no excuse for it. Wouldn't nobody make no excuse for me if I said that dumb shit. So I ain't making no excuse for Kanye. Amy said she threw with him too. I'm for real, y'all. That's crazy. I don't like that, man. You gotta be a different type of person to shit on some kids. You gotta be a different. You ain't never heard me on. I am never talking about nobody's kids, man. Not little kids. Once you get grown, you open season. But little kids, man. Little kids, nobody should support. I ain't supporting nothing, Kanye. I'm not putting another dollar in Kanye's pocket. I don't rock with nobody that do that. I don't rock with nobody. You gonna cause some kids retarded. You need help. You need help. Yeah, many of me said people are still going to defend you. Yeah, I ain't going for that. So I'm gonna see what them people say when somebody call their kids retarded. Yeah, we don't respect that here at the Flow Show at all. We don't respect that at all. Kanye West, bro, he didn't fail, man. And I don't think his product's gonna keep selling like that. I think he's messing his brand up for real. I don't think he gonna get his brand back. He need help, man. Oh, sweet. So Jennifer got her stuff, y'all. Jennifer just got a notification that her Flow Show merch got delivered this morning. Clap it up. Let's get it going, Jennifer. We need you to style in it. We need footage. We need pictures. Yes, everybody's stuff is getting out. Okay, appreciate that, Jennifer. We appreciate your business. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the support. Everybody say yes, 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 yes. I can't wait. I'm waiting for the new headbands. Me said hers might come today. Yeah, them orders is getting out, cranking them out. All good. Appreciate it. I'm glad all the orders getting out to everybody. All the orders getting out to everybody. So yeah, Kanye West is tripping. I don't know what's going on with Sadishka. Have y'all been hearing the same thing about her parents said that they that's a good idea, Michelle. That's a good idea, Michelle. I'll put those in the notes. I put that in the notes, Michelle. It says previously classified files related to 1963 assassination of President John F. Kennedy have been made public, but they can't put out the Epstein files. Yeah, they telling us some old ass JFK news that we already knew. That JFK is just a smokescreen. Oh, I already got that. Some of those shirts. Some of these shirts, like this shirt, is already an idea. But y'all know I'm exclusive. I ain't dropping 50 million. I'm not dropping 50 million items at once. So they will come out, but they'll come out sporadically. You know, I don't like to oversaturate my brand. Like I like to have when stuff drop, it'll drop, but I don't want to have 1,000 things on my merch site. You know what I mean? I want to keep it like kind of simple and keep it kind of like exclusive. So I look at people merch store. That's another reason why people don't like a lot of people merch, because they just make 1,000 pieces of merch and it just lose value when you do that. Like if you go on your shirt, if I can go and get your hoodie or your shirt in every single color, that's just too merch. Like I like my merch to be like have some kind of like style to it, or some type of exclusivity to it. So I'm definitely coming out with this shirt. I already got the concept of this shirt already made, but it'll be probably another month or so before it come out. But definitely a good idea. Yep. I don't like that. I would never drop a million different things, and I don't move like that. Like I like to drop exclusive stuff and put some real effort into like the whole, either the design or the significance of it or something. I don't want to have a website just full of, I could put 50 different things on there tomorrow, but I don't do it like that. But definitely good idea. I like the socks idea. Socks will be coming at some point. The wine glasses, I think I got that idea from Michelle too. That was a good idea. I think Michelle the one said the wine glasses. You said I'm gonna buy Dan and Mike that was talking shit the other day a headband and send it to their hating ass. For real. Yeah, get one for him. No, I know who you talking about. You talking about the guy. You talking about the guys who never came again. I know who you talking about. Y'all notice y'all ain't seen them. See, I ain't gotta block trolls. They get blocked when I just serve, when I cook their ass. You never seen them again. What? You never seen Dan and Mike again. And you ain't really seen too many trolls. I'm telling you, I'm good. I'm good with trolls. I don't gotta block trolls. I like for trolls to come, because this is what I'm good at. So as you can see, I cooked a few trolls. Y'all ain't seen them in a while. Y'all ain't seen no trolls in a while. Yeah, I knew that about JFK. Yeah, my uncle, his father was part of the Secret Service or something. So I know a lot of the little JFK stories that a lot of people don't know, because my uncle's father he was like in the Secret Service or something. But he had like all in that JFK era, he was in the middle of all that stuff. Yeah, they don't want. Yeah, they go. I ain't block them. I don't block trolls. Only I block you if you saying something that might get, like make my channel look crazy. Like if you cussing or saying some like nasty something, and I gotta block you like that. But if you just come on here trying to talk shit, I don't never block you, because I'm good at that. And now, as you can see, you ain't seen none of them since. I ain't the one. I tear trolls apart. I tear trolls apart. They don't want no part with me, especially with a microphone. I tear them apart with typing, but don't give me a microphone. You don't want smoke with me. I'm telling you. Look at Shan. Look at Shauna. Shauna's still with us. Yeah, hey, look, Michelle. Hey, my uncle, I could co-sign that because my uncle told me that too. He said JFK loved the sisters. He loved him some sisters. But we all saying we're the Epstein files and we're the Diddy files. We done with the 1950s and 60s. Why that's 100 years ago. Now you want to show us them files, man? I ain't giving you no credit for that. Y'all, the Trump administration gets zero credit for putting out the JFK files from 100-something years ago. We want to know about the Epstein files and the Diddy files. Amy said JFK was the first pretty president. He had more cool than he could handle. Probably had that thing rubbed raw. Amy woke up woke up diabolical today. Look, Kobe says it's gonna be 50 years redacted. We just got Area 51. I'm not impressed about no JFK files. You give us the Epstein files, and you give us the. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Apple and Spotify is ready to go. Give me 1 second. Throw a little music on for y'all. Maybe we gotta put some G Money. We do gotta put some G Money merch on there, y'all. So, oh yeah, I should do it. That's a good idea. I might do a JFK Diamond. Good idea. All right, y'all. Apple and Spotify is all up and going. I'm back. Apple and Spotify is ready to go. Got them all loaded. We was able to get them in early today. We was able to get them in at 8:45. I feel good about that. You know, I like to be in before 9 o'clock, but be going because the show been going a little longer. We had to start a little earlier today. What else we got going on over here, y'all? Amy over there connecting dots. Who you talking about? 3 people was arrested, Meanie Me? Who got arrested, Meanie Me? You talking about Antonio Brown dropped spicy screenshot of alleged DMs with Sydney after she asked for financial help. He must be broke. Meanie Me said he must be broke. I didn't hear back from them yet, but hopefully, I don't know if I called, if I left a message the right number, but if they got an email or if you know a better contact, send it to me. If you got a better contact, maybe an email or a direct number to somebody, let me know. They haven't got back to me yet, but I get on. I get what if you don't get something, I get in touch with them. But if you got a number or something or email, that would be great. It's going down. Oh, okay. So they said the abortion case in Houston, Jen said they arrested 3 people. Wow. Okay. So they got the ball rolling on that one, huh? Yeah, I think Minnie Me had brought this story to us. Hold on. Yep, I saw that, Amy. You know, I saw that, Amy. But yeah, Jennifer, Minnie Me had told us about that story with the Texas midwife. But I'm gonna look into some of the details because I ain't really followed up on it. And yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. Stevie J, old hating ass. Talking about he taught Eve how to take a bath. My question is, how old was Eve when he taught her how to take a bath? How old was Eve when he taught her how to take a bath? And was that bath, was it a baby oil bath? Or was it a water bath? Social Security Administration to require in-person identity checks for new and existing recipients. Why they bothering Social Security, ain't they? Look at what the boycott did, y'all. Target has lost $12.4 billion in value loss after the boycott. Shout out to y'all for the boycott. Not at all. But the boycott look like it's doing this thing, y'all. Boycott looking like it's working out. But yeah, Stevie J. So if y'all know what we're talking about, Stevie J did an interview on, what was that, Vlad, I believe? Stevie J did an interview on Vlad talking about Diddy and talking about Diddy giving him money and talking about he taught Eve how to take a bath. Y'all need to check it out. Wow. So Kobe said she was stripping at the time underage. I do remember the stories of that vaguely, but yep. Yep, I heard this story too. Michelle told the story about one time when Eve was drugged by an industry party. And if it wasn't for Janet Jackson, who knows? She might have been paid. You know, she is so embarrassed she was with that Stevie J. And Kobe says, yes, there is a video. Okay. So yeah, sometimes, hey, look, sometimes they say something in these interviews that they might wish they didn't say. They might wish that that Stevie J might wish he kept quiet. What is going on in the world, y'all? Shout out to my squad, though. We got Amy, Kobe, Juan Shinobi, Michelle in the building, Mini Me. Let me just take a minute to shout out everybody who's still here. Mini Me, Jennifer, Shauna driving, but she listening. Shauna was the shopper of the day today. She didn't come on down to get her prize. She should have came on down. You got to come on down for your prize, like the prize right. C-Tuck, my C-Town representative, C-Tuck. C-Tuck from Cleveland. He could verify all my Cleveland stories. C-Tuck. Okay, we got Lauren in the building. Lauren driving. Diamond definitely in the building. And Mini Me making her sister some homemade food. Mini Me in there cooking. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. Go ahead, Mini Me. What you cooking in there? Oh, we got K Marie in the building. Yeah, you gotta send a little message so I can give y'all a shout out before we get up out of here. If you still in here, you know I always got to shout out the soldiers. K Marie says she's still listening. She just getting ready for work. I like that because I've used podcasts for years to listen to while I was doing stuff, like maybe getting ready to go out or listen to podcasts as I'm working or trying to get or resting. And now it's funny to hear so many people listen to me as they like to help them get through their day or like to help the time pass. I love it. I do that all the time. I listen to podcasts all the time. So I'm always using podcasts like to help take up time when I'm doing stuff. And now it's so funny to see that so many people do the same thing with my podcast. That's so cool. A lot of people are either like listen to my podcast while they Uber driving or doing Uber Eats, or they listen to my podcast while they helping like assisted living situations, nursing homes. They listen to my podcast while they putting their makeup on. They listen to my podcast while they walk their dogs. They listen to my podcast. What else do they be doing? And some of them listen to my podcast before they like to go to sleep. And that's what I do. I listen to some of my favorite like talking podcasts to go to sleep. And so they reached out to me, y'all. They said they want me to do something for the comment app. And the app is a comment app where like celebrities talk and they be on there and people listen to them, like tell stories as they go to sleep. They want me to get on the comment app, like the comment app. They say I got a voice. They say people like listen to my voice to go to sleep. I'm like, I mean, I do that, but I ain't never know people did that with me. Well, if I can start early, I will. But 7:30 is the time. But if I can start early, I will, just because it helps get the Apple and Spotify people their podcast earlier. So 7:30 is the real time. But in cases that I can start early, I will start early. But no, 7:30 is the real time. So it'll be 7:30 most of the time. It's just that sometimes if I do have a chance to get up early, and especially when I know it's going to be like a long one, no Diddy, then I try to start a little early. So, yeah, I saw Jess Hilarious going off about the Breakfast Club. She said it's being ran like high school. It's getting ran by she said it's ran like a high school. She said she never hated on the Lori girl, whoever the new girl is. Yeah, she was going off. What y'all think about Jess Hilarious? What y'all think about Jess Hilarious? I don't really have a big opinion about her. I never really watched her comedy. So I don't really have nothing good or bad to say about her. I just never really paid her too much attention. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Amy. I didn't think she would. Now that's one thing I did know. I didn't think she would be on there long. It didn't feel long term. Mini-Me says she don't know how to read and she a hater. Michelle said Jess is funny. I did see. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have nothing good or bad to say, because I did see like a lot of people did like her comedy. I just really never, really paid much attention to her stuff like that. She said, I think she does all right on the Breakfast Club, but Lauren reports stories better. Yeah, and see, that's the thing people don't realize. Being a comedian and reporting stories is two different things. You can do both, but they're two different skill sets. And so when you find somebody that's better than you at telling stories, it's not nothing you could do about that. Telling stories is kind of like a gift. You're kind of born with that. Either you know how to draw people in or you don't. It's not really something you could really do. Being a comedian is different. That's why I tell stories and people laugh as I'm telling stories, but I'm not a comedian. I just tell stories. I'm natural when I tell stories, and people laugh at that. But I'm not a comedian. But I like telling stories. I like talking about current events, and so that's like if you had a podcast with me and another comedian or whatever, he might be funny, but he's not going to be better than me at telling stories for like news type stuff. He'll be good at being funny, but telling news and sneaking some comedy in the news, that's a whole different thing. So I can see why Old Girl was better than Jess at it. I mean, it's not nothing. If somebody better than you at telling stories when it comes to news, that's just something they born with. It's not really much you could do about that. A lot of people said this, K. Marie. A lot of people said they liked them both. I did see a lot of people say I like them both on there for different reasons. They say I like the way Lauren told the stories, but then I like the Jess Hilarious comedy. I heard a lot of people say that. In fairness, I heard a lot of people say that. Yep, Lauren did work for on TMZ. Amy said she made skank ass faces to Lauren, and that may be a reason that they got her up out of here. I'm the guy you talked about comedy. What you mean by that, Kobe? Family Matters is getting a reboot. I heard about that too. I don't have any details, but hey, Family Matters. So check it out, y'all. About that time. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat. We on our road to 100K downloads. It'll probably be Thursday or Friday, but we gonna celebrate to go from 0 downloads to 100,000 downloads and being a top 5% podcast independent is an accomplishment that even I can't really grasp it, y'all. All I'm gonna say is one day go on Facebook and look at the independent podcast and look at what normally, as an independent podcast, what normally your downloads are. And it ain't nowhere near 100,000. Like, you'll never. It's incredible. Like I said, we deserve pats on the back for that. I didn't see that coming. But we did it. Like Jennifer said, I'm out. Where the rest of y'all at? Y'all taking too long. Where the I'm outs at? Yes, Amy. Yes, we did that. It was definitely, I don't know how, but it happened, and we're gonna keep going. There you go, Michelle. That's a I'm out for your ass. Michelle, that's the I'm out. That's what I'm talking about. I like Jennifer's and Michelle, but Michelle came with the long one, no Diddy. There go my boy Kobe. I'm out. Yeah, y'all. So 7:30. Sometimes if I can get in here early, I will. I love y'all, but I'm out.